we have to have vacated the room by 5 o'clock. So a few questions from the floor.
Yes. 我大概有半个小时的询问时间。
Yeah, you can speak in Chinese because then you translate for me.
大家可以说中文，这边有中文翻译。
师父just said that. 我的问题是，最近中国在印度刚开始重建纳兰陀寺，这个那我想问师父对这个有什么样的看法？包括赖荣学院，就是赖荣嘎和这个是不是有志于建立成一个像纳兰陀那样一个修学的中心？谢谢。
Recently, China and India is helping rebuild Nalanda temple. What's your point of view on this? And also, do you also are dedicating on building Larung into the type of Nalanda too?
Work package, right?
Should we speak Tibetan or Chinese?
Package, right? The Janok, the Yakaka Sachan in Naranja, Lopcha Chimundo, Kirkiwanda, Shurna, Yahar, Chirizena, that Janok Lord Jigger Tangayana, Verna, the Shanza. The Lohan Chimbo, the Nick Yagra song with an so chula with an Yanaka Chu, Chuto Joda, the Shanzan Lohan Chimbo, the Tankaraka Hajan, the Lurgi Chimbos Gusonde. The Na Woyerkina, Woyerk Loza Mozan, the Nalantala song with an Chulo Joy, Chum Jones Sonde. The Nina, the Talur Nama. The Nijanaka Kurmo Mosque, the Nalantan, the Jigsushi, Timo Kacha Shayoje. The Constarian, Nesanotana, Nalantan, Mandras Yorgonina, Kung, and Zambu Wingertanka, the Nautanka Slopcha, Chishu and Target, that Dansanti, Ziktrunga, Chigu, Balasaga, the Ziktri Harion, Tandana, Nanga, Japchat and Niencha, Nanga. That Girkin down, Lojonga Takena, Dagon Camoreda, Constarian, Shavati, Hajan Yahuri Sangayo.
As far as the kind of reconstruction of like the Nalanda University through like by the Indian and the Chinese, this is I think something very wonderful because of course like there's a tremendous history there. Like Buddhism in China, like a lot of like the Xinjiang, like the masters from the Tang Dynasty, they actually went and they learned a lot from Nalanda, and so there's a tremendous connection actually between Nalanda University and the Chinese Buddhist traditions. And then also in Tibet, like many of the great Lotsawas, the great translators, they studied at Nalanda, and so this is like a source for like the Dharma flourishing in the other parts of the world, and I think it's very wonderful. As far as like I've been asked this question before about like whether I want to like build like this sort of like the next Nalanda University and so forth, but this is something that of course on the outer level is something that requires a great deal of dedication, and of course to be able to build it akin to what was back in the time is something I think quite a big job and a big task, because also to be able to have the quality of the teachers and the disciples that existed in Nalanda is also a challenge.
Sasha, you mentioned that debating is a key element of education at the Institute. I wanted to ask if you continue to participate in debating yourself. With your great accomplishment and knowledge, who would dare to enter into debate with you?
bio chikazore suji ke bhaje Sodargye thusama khusamare samgi mare bemi sama trasa lewa sa rumochi khiri gevir mata shena sama phamro gerawa lagi shena sama sergi esare so rumochi khisi tama Sodargye gi na khanza ta phangile da khope halwa khema chamare la ne tederaji samgi esare suji Sodargye thogi esare da
그래서
rumochi nyamde
辩论呢是很重要的一个学习这个经论的手段啊，有没有人敢跟你辩论呢？
当妈在被做把高嘞，原来呀，他也路通用了，路通用的等于他当时做把马戏那样路蒙不人嘞，原来呀，做把这个的这做把没破这个是我说我见到这个那有嘛嘞。teni sadang sandrasen jana rang toba yone sonte tema to tela sopa shitena teni tariga paroro got stawa din manthane sonte te tariga gaba shiton jot ogel na tang sopa shil control thmo mai mai nare teni khirondi tag ngala tag sopa mapose kala yo mare tag ta toba mena ngala son mare toba yona sina channa ya tarin jikre.
As far as engaging in debate, I used to really love debating, but of course, as I get older, I don't participate in it as much, and also it's been quite some time since I've been actively debating, you could say. But the difference between the debate in the Buddhist tradition and other forms of debate is that it's not like there's only one set forum for debate. It's more that debate is a function of dispelling doubt, and whenever there's a question, it's polemicizing for the sake of gaining more knowledge. So in any moment that there's a question, then at that moment is the moment to enter into debate. And so of course, if there's no question and there's no issues or polemics to be brought up, then there'd be no need to challenge the debate. But of course, if anyone has questions, then they would just enter into the debate, and so that's how it would happen.
Cool. Come Jimmy Pazog Janjan Lomaris and the Chotrayo.
So I heard that you actually met Khenpo in the flesh. Do you have a question?
No, I had the pleasure of meeting not only Jimmy but Ani Mumso. In 1993, they came to this country together. Chandra Rinpoche hosted them in Northern California. And I find it very hard to believe that I was new to Buddhism at the time. And I find it very hard to believe that I fall in this category of possible liberation because of seeing and knowing and serving them. That my clumsiness in my practice and my study, that I think I'd have to live many lifetimes before that could possibly happen for me.
Mora hapo gitu stane mora che ya mo tru ma she yondi mora ya ani no to ma sho yongi do stane lekin de tu me baniana ani taron ti ta video sagi la taron tani o thema chi khora she che song ne ta je se de ta je wa chen de ki de lave pe khapo de sta to pa chen bo jas khai na mora ki chala samajtana so khali me so hapo res ti mora ya taron ani che gi chori na ya che ya mo tru ma she de taron ya no to ma bo sho do res tani indi mora mi se mamo le go bi gere smutne de sosaria titi pachan tani so sa tani ro che de go bi gere ma to shiva da mansa ya dewa chen la chi progre samsara ro de gi ti dingze ro de gi me dos mashi di ro chi khoni ki chane de kuya yo ba de gi khona de ki chen da ho yo ba the so mes in mora ki chane mora de so ki o non cho mo go bi khan de gi nim ba di ha ko ne ni mora la gi che me ra o chani yares tani le gi de ko me pa na tani so ki non cho show ina di gi je so do go ma ne so de da ko de si si che che kha ko de
te yo bore kare senante 当我说拿球员呢，这个多巴有觉得呢多巴的安尼样的设立的，在这个说白也拿这个的那桌浪，盘子桌浪去的，这里是这种的人机人个性能呢他多巴拉拉的多巴吃当吞吧多浪那吧多巴拉拉的人个马信的马棍嘛，都是么东个当呢马那吧的地用着。तेला तेरे ठेचुम तेला ची दोनजर के ठेचुम दा दोन मंजर के ठेचुम से इताना छामा गना ना मों सोंगे तेना क्यों जेके तो देन बारे शितम के ना देवाचने की कोना रा ना ची लामा चिगम रेरा जोक तो जे ता ना ची ओहो में कन सान लाख चिक दोन जने के चिगवा मारे ता रेता ने यो जिकिन टेम्परेचर समझी में के पास के तो पेना अरे ओहो में के तो शनलब समझी में के पादा खोंग थके समझी में के पादा 대전도는 지금 지친 것들이 무슨 샘는 따빠가 니바는 니모초 담지나요 산지 추구나나 때라 하장다리 니바 침보스도 송원하래 버나다리가 네 따빠 까지 막 지근은 촉가로 뭐 usaqton지 디모르 야 디모요 이치론디 지친 템즈데 무슨 요 말에서 이단 롱르 남다가 말 갖던 거는 하장까면서 송원제 대인디 니와다 다리 이런 와다 딱시시데 조 그가 다 출란 직지원도 하천이 바래.
This is really good. It's always good if you have that kind of doubt and question that you are able to just lay it on the table and really ask it. Because a lot of times, like when you are able to voice your doubts, then they become clear. And also, like just engaging in this like kind of we call debate or just a mutual discussion is something so helpful, a dialogue. And so I want to say like some people have very veritable doubts and they actually turn out to be because it is true what they are thinking, and then other people are doubting because they don't actually understand and they lack knowledge about some sort of truth. And so it's important to present your doubts so that they can be cleared. And what I wanted to say in response to you is that yes, it's of course understandable that it would be hard to believe that just by like meeting somebody once or reciting the name of Amitabha one time that like you just guaranteed entry into this Pureland of Dewachen, and yet on the other hand, inconceivable are causes and conditions. Inconceivable is the interdependence and the energy created by certain events and certain causes and conditions. And that means that, for example, the blessings of Buddha Amitabha are inconceivable. The compassion of these enlightened ones, like Buddha Amitabha's compassion. And so because of that, like it depends not only on like a very kind of straightforward linear sequence of events, but it could just be the power of the faith. For example, in Buddha's teachings, a lot of the power of the Buddhist tradition depends on faith, and the quality and power of faith is expressed in the scriptures. A single moment of faith can accomplish like many eons of accumulations of merit. And so if you try to refute that, it would be difficult to find any passages in any of the scriptures or even your own logical reasoning to kind of verify doubt about that. It would be difficult to refute. So this is good. After a long time of reflecting and analyzing, if you come to a conclusion and you express any doubts that are lingering, this is very good.
这个坏了，我就大点声说了。尊贵的尊者仁波切，我这么称呼您，是因为不论在东方和西方，都对智慧的这个人都得到应有的尊重，所以我叫您尊者仁波切。然后我的问题是，那在西方很多从小生活在基督文明的这些人，他们受到基督教的教育已经很充足和足够了。那东方也有它传统的佛教的教育和它的生长的环境。那现在这个时代，东方的佛教移民来不远万里来到美国和欧洲去传播这种佛教的思想。那包括西方的基督教也向东方亚洲传播他们的基督思想。那我想请问的问题是，刚才您讲到一个是不舍己道，莫扰他心。请问这两种文明的这种交流和互相的传播的意义，请您慈悲开示，谢谢。
I just call you Jason Rinpoche because no matter in East or West, we all respect enlightened people. My question would be, in the West there are the Christianity, in the East we have Buddhism. Right now, as yourself coming from long way to here to spread the Buddhism teaching, well, the Christianity is trying hard to spread the thoughts into the East too. And how do you understand? So you also said don't move your path and don't interfere with the other's thought. And how do we understand these kind of two civilizations kind of confrontation, or how they combine?
니문이나 다가 다샤쇼고 상지비 출이나다 납쇼비 20비 출 강 따리야나 드네 남바 다가 만자바야 모스 요코제 용제다나 드네 나춘조아 미 릭텔라다리 시 판바토나 티흐조 따르피시지다 까치오 레상게 왜나 조아미 다리가 신더당 세시마 아니급당 타트 강라요 판바게 침보즈거나 또 이시출거 그거 니바토나요 데스타토시르거 드니 상지 비출거 있나요 데다리가 산도시르거 데니존테 나지 쳇 납쇼가 용에다나 그거 나춘도 직 따르피시다나 그거 출거 잠바초 직 rem기 그거 남바잔즈 결교 티삼바 따니메 치레제나 나카송디 오스트레일리아다나티 뉴질랜드와 뉴질랜드는 때니 다 저들건 직된 시포도 상기 개발거 때니 카션 또저게 때니 또 차트시니요 때나 상기 줄이다나 이시 줄거 발거 탄사야 모습도 때니 다리가 접추시고요 때나 치레제나 나춘 조아미 쓰던 쓰이나라나 카르슈르나자 너슈르나자 도르나 조아마라 판바유노가 르네다 출근도 저쪽거 왔다요는 더 딸기 줄고 지스레 가테다리가 미 르다는 조아잔 함치다 판바 메기 잔지나 탄데다리가 tene chig targi mechi jantina te kyongk kunjo mare te inna ngasu mer nam ka rang ka tari ga shirgla tene dana tashi shi ki janti inne na rang tsugi yang chor ka mare tene jang sem yang tari chgo ka mare te inna chi nge te na sharnab ko tari ga chulgla garayang meka 대전 dana the 다 지금 뭐차가 추바 좋은 있나요? the 상기 바가 출거 때네 20바가 출거 다리 쪽보 송고 20바가 있나요? 상기와 탐치다 쪽보 타르트 바이 그냥 타바가 쪽보가 송 때네 다리 라나 소소야나 the 샘천자라 판바 도기부 출거 다를 수 있지 않지 있나? 때네 로아마 강라야나 가라도나 노바도나 대전다 반선다리 mon턴바 연구 말이 상고요. 디 카숑들라 쳐제너는 지스테시바가 하요라 지스테시바보 하요로 지스테시바보 된가도단데 다리 상계니까 다 지스테시바보다 상계 특색이 코니가 차송색이 디모 카숑스 같은 게 같이셔.
So first of all, when I said about whenever I talk, I'm talking from my knowledge from the Eastern tradition, and in the Western tradition you have like the Judeo-Christian belief system predominating, of course, and then in the East, and there are so many differences, of course. And that being said, in my view, any spiritual tradition, any religious tradition that espouses the importance of bringing benefit to others, of altruistic activity, then any teachings that come from those traditions that spread that same message of treating others with kindness, then I think those are worth learning from. And for me, whether it is showing temporary benefit for this life or ultimate benefit for this life or the afterlives, I really feel that there's importance in sort of learning about these teachings, whatever tradition it comes from. and for me, like when I go to actually different places, it is not my aim to convert you to Buddhism and make you leave your own religious traditions at all. In fact, in Australia and New Zealand, I gave a talk and the title was based on how the wisdom mind of Buddha and the heaven of God is one. They meet as one, kind of, that was like the meaning. And so, like for me, like whoever you are, whether it's from an Eastern tradition or a Western tradition, the point here is that if these traditions that you follow are teaching you how to be a person of integrity and benefit others, then that's all you really need to know. That's all you really need to do, and then to kind of continue with like following the noble teachings of whatever tradition, not losing the core of that wisdom is important. And then of course seeking not to harm others, and that's really something that I think whatever tradition you belong to, then that's really fine. And when I talk about like not losing your core of like your tradition and so forth, I just mean like and not disturbing the minds of others, not upsetting the hearts of others. It means like just use your own wisdom, your own kind of sense, and whatever there is a tradition of that teaches this, you know, you can learn from that. You don't have to lose that tradition. You don't have to just give up who you are, in other words. And I also say that for the like Christians, I think for on a large part they do really feel like the Buddhists are their friends, and the same, this amicable, this friendship relationship. Like for the Buddhists also, we feel that the Christians are like our friends, and so I don't really feel that there's much of a contradiction as long as you are just living in integrity according to these wisdom teachings.
尊贵的上师你好，扎西德勒，我有一个问题是说，我们在拉荣武林佛学院有没有那种就是短期出家的课程？像我们在美国生活的，不可能说很长时间到拉荣佛学院去学习，但是我们都很向往那个地方。有没有可能有这种就是短期的，像10天啊、20天啊这样的短期的出家的课程？
My question is, in Larung, is there like a short the program like for a short period of time of being ordained? As we stay in the U.S., it's not really possible to spend too much time and many years. The question is there such program? Thank you.
Larung garna deni titsu tong go nonga. 그 랍도 쇼도 교고 줄 요는 말에 레타네요 디츠 통통 거는가 되게 첨바시 그 첨바시 다는 디츠 통통 거는가 라롱 가르다 다데는 추로 정신나 대초 대나 추로 정신 교대라 지금 다 지금 랍도 쇼도 교고 이반요 지금 메이커 가르티 니버 장게요 제티초 통통은 나라도 숑주 돈발렘 삼지 티모이나 당상 타리고 데네 캬르커 잔나 추초 잔나요 데스타베타리 조르킨 타르키오나리 데네 테송마다노 더가 랑게요 네르급 거랍숑 돈발랑에다나 더가 gond르시나요 르기요 마레 데나 마츠 사자나 더가 다 켐바르 텐찬다나 데네 네르급이나 라고 연롱이나 차킨 사나 로종시나 총제다 이나 다리근디 다리 조르토 타르가요 마레
We don't have a tradition for giving ordination limited to a set period of time. Like, there's no tradition of that at Larung anyway. However, as a lay person, a householder, one is always welcome to come and spend however much time they want studying and practicing there. And so because for the study of Dharma, there is no absolute requirement that you have to be ordained. As a monk or nun and whatnot. That being said, if you wish to ordain in other countries and other traditions, there are these traditions of giving short time, like vows, short ordination. But for like a householder or a lay person to come and to study, if you have the means to do so, then of course there's always that offering, that opening at Larung for that. But the tradition itself of like partial ordination for a set period of time is not there in Larung.
Thank you very much.